Why is it important to gather this history and the story of all the flower growers that were here in the San Dieguito area during the 40s, 50s, and 60s? Why not just let it go? Well, it's important because they were a very real part of this whole area's history, which started with the Ecke Ranch coming down here, the Ecke poinsettias, and growers liked to be together. So little by little, there were flower growers and plant growers on almost every street in this whole area. Behind every single greenhouse where now homes are, or where there's still, some of them still are, there's a story and there's facts. Now, facts are easy. 20,000 square feet of greenhouses, so much shade, this is the crops, but it's the stories behind that come to life. Behind every grower is a story. And those stories are interesting and they're waiting to have a voice. And we at the San Dieguito Heritage Museum, we're embarked on this big project to give those stories a voice. The California Humanities Council thinks this is important too. So they've given us some money to put on this exhibit to help us reach that goal of telling the stories behind the growers. What do I mean by stories? Well, I'll give you an example. Every time you get a package by air from FedEx or Postal Express, and it's a bulky package that doesn't weigh very much, do you know that the way they figure the weight, how much to charge for that, goes all the way back to a DC-3 pilot, at the end of the World War II, a grower up in Northern California that wanted to ship flowers to Chicago in a better way than just a truck. And how that DC-3 pilot, freight pilot, sat down with the grower and figured out that formula. That's a story in itself. And it all happened in a cafe, written down on a cafe paper napkin. But that's one of the stories. You'll hear the whole story when you come in. Let me give you another example of something I'll bet you don't know. I grew up in the nursery business and married into the greenhouse business, and we grew foliage plants. And all of a sudden in the 70s, late 60s and early 70s, plastic plants came in, and we were about to go broke. I mean, the cancellation of orders were just terrible. And we did everything we could our little way, all the foliage plant growers, but it wasn't doing much good. But the flower children helped save the plastic plant business from putting us out of business. But that's the story you'll have to hear when you come in and see the exhibits and hear the stories behind all the growers. History is important, the stories are important, and we're going to have a wonderful time telling those stories to you when you come here to the San Dieguito Heritage Museum. I'm Evelyn Weidner, and I was born in the nursery business. I grew up in the nursery business. I married into the greenhouse business. I've lived a lifetime in this business, and I still love this business, and I love the stories behind it.